All right, all right, all right. It is time. Sniper build. Let's go over it. Take my jacket off for this one. So I had to go back to to Tempest on Saturday for war and stuff. But it is the last day of the season, and I figured, by the way, this Headless Geysers cosmetic is just amazing. Especially with the BK red and all the stuff, it's really awesome. I love it. All right, so let's go over it. It's a pretty simple essence combination. I actually don't have any of the new essences. I have the first group when BLOODKNIGHT dropped, and then the second group that dropped a few weeks after. But I believe there's been a couple groups that have dropped ever since then, maybe 3. And I don't have any of those. I'll farm that later on and try the summons build everyone's telling me about. If you have a good build, feel free to post it in the comments. But for right now, let's focus on what is the subject that matter, the sniper build. It is very effective against, staying ranged. It's very effective for pushing the idol. Let's go over it here. The helmet is going to be Gorger's Yawn. Let's go to this one. It's easier if we just do it like this. The helmet's going to be Gorger's Yawn. That's going to add a 29% range to your Wave of Blood. It's going to become about the size of 2 idols, end to end. It's going to take up that entire hallway. It's going to be great. The chesticles are going to be Warmth and Likeability. That's adding an extra charge to Wave of Blood. Now you have 2 charges total, which is great. Evil Thoughts for shoulders. Umber Lance maximum charges increased by 1. Again, that's going to get 2 charges. The Umber Lance is going to get 2 charges with that, which is great. Bloody Waltz. Now, I've been using... so in the video, I actually used the Spear Flurry. The Spear Flurry, which actually knocks people up, right? Where's it at? Spear Flurry knocks enemies into the air. You can use this. It is very effective, and it is a control. They will get knocked up in the air for roughly for a full 3 seconds if your potency allows it, but a minimum of 2 seconds, really. It is very effective. It helps in allowing your cooldowns. If you are cooling on every other skill, the Umber Lance, the Wave of Blood, and the Skewer, if you're cooling down on them, it allows you to kind of protect yourself if you're being attacked 1v1. But besides that, it does do crazy damage, but it's not ranged. That always bothered me. It wasn't ranged. And then I saw, Bloody Waltz, which is the one we have equipped. Swarm of batting creatures. It's damaged by 19%, up to 76% for each negative status the target has. Now, since I do run bleeds a lot, I have a Vipers, I have a Bile. I do run bleeds. I love bleeds. It adds a lot of damage. It's actually very, very OP. And it's not just your harmful effects. It's actually hurting everybody who has a harmful effect, period. What is a harmful effect? A harmful effect is poison, dots, anything that is doing damage to them. Anything that is doing damage to them that is not ground damage, that is not direct damage by you, anything that is passive damage on them is considered a harmful effect. And this is procced by any and anyone's harmful effects, not just yours. So I've been testing some things out with that, and that's actually a very OP, especially because you can use it even if you don't run dots, which is actually pretty great. So that's the pants. Now let's finish up here quickly. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Bloodknight. That's how you say it. Bloodknight. Umber Lance deals up to 76% increased damage the further you are from target. So these two are at 76%. Now you're stacking a huge increase or damage buff to 2 of your skills. So that's super OP, man. I can't stress enough how the more you stack like little things like this is where the power of the build comes from. Second main hand, skewer now causes you to leave. We all know the Absolver. If you've been BK, that's just a classic go-to. This has 2 stuns. This has 2 charges. And Umbral Lance has 2 charges, which is also stuns. So that's 4 stuns total, and then 2 charges of Wave of Blood, which by the 3rd second, so if they stand on it for 3 full seconds, they will be immobilized completely for about 2 seconds. Now, some people can just walk past it. You can use some Umbral Lances, right? Umbral Lance now conjures a giant Void Spear. That's your offhand. Falls from the sky. No one will ever see this coming. It drops so fast, and it drops from their head. It drops from the sky. It's one of my favorite BK essences. So if they are walking too fast on your Wave of Blood, right? You can just kind of stun them. You need to target those players that are kind of just walking freely because of their resistance. And you need to just drop a spear on them to make sure that they stay on there for the full 3 seconds. And your team may come and melt them. So Peer of the Curse is for the offhand. Wave of Blood creates a Well of Death. That's a huge well that I'm talking about. And Wardstone, which is the Umbral Lance Void Spear. So you kind of just want to put these in front of the idol like this, so that the idol may just kind of walk, because no one's going to stand on that, because the worst thing you can do to someone is make them a sitting duck. And then you just kind of want to drop these spears on their head and drop the bats on them and just have that be constantly, you know, we kind of want to do this on repeat in front of the idol, and just kind of help your side of the idol kind of move and move. Always put it in front, and you should have a good result. Some matches are just impossible to do anything. The only negative thing I will say about the build is that it does require you to be fully dependent on the killers of your team, because you're not there to get kills. You're there to push that idol. So if your team, you know, if you get MM, we all know MM matchmaking does that. It just throws you into a crap team. If you get in with a crap team, there's not going to be much that you can do. Unfortunately, you're just going to have to take the L. But for the most part, if you have a semi-decent team, this putting these wells in front of each other, in front of the idol, each well is about 10 seconds long. You definitely are going to have the upper hand on your side of the idol. So try it, and, you know, let me know what you think. Let me know if you like Spear Flurry better than the bats. I don't know. That'll be up to you. If you have any cool BK builds that you use, feel free to post them in the comments, and I will try them out and try to figure out what kind of tweaks I can make to them, if any. And I hope this helps you. You know, this is the last day of the season as of this date of the video. So, you know, I hope you can get a good start on next season by using this BK build. These are tier like 1 and 2 essences. We're like on tier 5, I think. So as I farm this week and I farm all these new essences, I will be posting many more BK videos, and then change class again to something else, maybe Necro. I don't know. You could put in the comments what what class you want me to go and see what I can do with whatever class I'm on. But I hear summons is great, so we'll see. All right, guys, good game. Stay slaying. Love you guys.